Hi, thanks for tuning in. Today's video is going to be about the 5 key steps to creating a viable business, or what I believe to be the key steps. There are obviously other elements, but these are the ones that I think are critical to success. Just before I go into those, I think it might be important just to explain some of the journey that I've been on and how I feel that these steps have worked for me and how I believe they will work for others. So, my background predominantly in the early stages was around recruitment. So identifying job vacancies, identifying staff and putting them together. So I've done that through working for other people, running my own businesses, running other people's businesses for them. And I actually enjoyed the fact of being able to give something back, and it was quite rewarding in giving people jobs. I found that the business aspect of it was very cutthroat. There's a lot of competition. Attrition of staff is extremely high, and I wanted to try and take it one step further to see if I could help more people. So I actually moved into healthcare recruitment, and from there you're able to provide care workers or healthcare professionals into people's own homes to help assist people. So I found that very rewarding. It combined the business aspect of it as well as helping people find jobs and helping the end user. I then took that to the next stage to see what else could I do to make this even more beneficial and get to a wider reach. So I started to move in towards transformation. So where you turn businesses around, identify problems and see where you can add additional value to them. I did this on a smaller scale and then all the way up to £750 million projects or programs of work that I actually then delivered, which was, a significant number of end users, up to 40,000. So I kind of feel that these areas are really good, and what I get the most pleasure out of is to help other people and see the success come from you implementing some of these principles to make them work for you. So I'll go through these 5 key points that I feel are very useful, and they've certainly helped me keep focused. So the first one: create a useful product or service. Now, I've mentioned this a few times on my channel around you've got to make sure you understand what it is that you're delivering, what the customer need is. So the more beneficial your product or service is, the wider reach it's likely to have. You need to make sure that you buy into this as well and you're passionate about what it is that you're trying to deliver, how you're going to deliver it. And the best thing is to make sure that A, is there a market, and what can you do differently to add value to your customer. The next thing, point 2, is around simplifying the message. Business is relatively straightforward. People often try and complicate it and make it seem far, far more difficult than it actually is. If you keep the message clear, simple, and you know exactly what it is that you're trying to solve in terms of your problem, you can then identify how and which you're going to do that. You need to be true to your values. So what is it that you are doing and how do you stick to those? So a couple of examples maybe. You might want to be in a niche market with a high quality product or service, and you service those clients extremely well. And that's what you buy into and that's what people want from you. And that's absolutely fine if that's what you're doing. It may be the other end of the scale. You may have a very low end, low quality potentially product that goes to the masses, but you actually want to do that deliberately to make sure that everybody can see and get hold of the product or service you're delivering. Again, that's fine. If that's the way you want to be, it's not a problem, but you need to be clear and your customer needs to be absolutely clear on what it is that you're trying to do and how you're going to do it. The next bit is around then marketing that. How do you market your product or service to make sure you get the maximum reach? Who are your target customers and how are you going to do it? Without understanding where your demographic is, what the best way of targeting those particular customers are, you're going to find it very difficult. Identify where your customers are advertising, your competitors are advertising, to see if you can gain anything from them. What are they missing? What do they not have that you can have? You need to make sure that you stand out in a crowd. What is unique about you? How do you put that forward to make sure that people remember you? There are lots and lots of businesses out there. Some you remember, some you won't. It might be that you are, an athlete and you combine that to it. but just make sure there is something out there that makes you seem slightly different to your competitors to make sure that people would remember you and then come back. The other bit, next section, is number 4. So social media. Here's a prime example, me doing a video here. Start to embrace the modern world. Look at all the different types of social media platforms and understand which is going to be your primary one. You should be on as many as possible, ideally all of them, but you need to make sure that you give regular, good quality content. You listen to feedback, you understand what works well, what doesn't work well, and how you can adjust that. Many people struggle to embrace social media. It is coming, it is very much part of everyday life. The younger generations are probably going to find it easier because they are brought up with this, so therefore it becomes far more normal. But you need to make sure that you're on the right channels, directing to the right customers, and understanding how you're going to get there. You need to vary the content. So sometimes it may be written content, sometimes it may be audio, sometimes it might be video. But just try and alter it for the right type of audience in the right platform. Also try and get people to subscribe to each of your different channels and push them to different areas, because all the algorithms work slightly different between Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, etc. So make sure you've got the maximum reach possible, and again, the target audience is correct for you. The final one, which is probably quite simple, is make sure you enjoy yourself. Make sure what you're doing makes you happy. People can see if you're passionate and enjoying what you're doing. See if you've got the added value to deliver it. Stick to what it is that you know you can do. Go on past experience. Go on something where you know you have got a proven track record and can deliver time and time again. It doesn't have to be exactly the same product or service, but it has to be something similar, something that will align to what you have done. If people ask you questions, you can confidently answer those and make sure that people understand that you're not just another face on social media. You have got a proven track record of how you've delivered this before, and you enjoy what you're doing. That will come across in everything you do if you genuinely like what you're doing and understand your message and how you're going to get there. Hopefully you found this video of some kind of benefit. If you have, please like, subscribe, and share with anybody else. If you've got different views, or you feel there are other things that are more important than these 5 to start or scale a business, then please put it in the comments. I'll gladly have a debate around what we think works or not. Ultimately, I want to help as many people as possible. So if there's a better way or a different way of doing it, then I'm more than happy to share that with my audience. Thanks very much. I'll see you on the next video.